Hello, and welcome to Empowered Voices, Stories from the Arc of Greater Boone County. This is Pam, and I'm here today with Allison and Margaret, and we're going to talk a little bit about our Family Opportunity Program. Just so listeners, you know what's happening and what is going on with that program. Our Family Opportunity Program started several years ago through a grant from the United Way of Central Indiana, and we started in what's called a capacity building project with them, with a program that's designed to help families in moving out of poverty and meeting their needs, both in terms of education and in workforce development, in helping families build some social connections. So we'll go a little more in depth in our discussions as we discuss things today, but wanted to just give you a really quick high level overview of what we'll be talking about and as we jump into the program. So Allison and Margaret, thank you for joining me today. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you for having us.
So tell us a little bit about the activities that we've done so far in the Family Opportunity Program.
Some of the activities that we have offered so far and are continuing to offer are our financial empowerment classes, our career readiness, resumes, interviews, job skills. We offer one-on-one support as well. That includes help registering for programs such as SNAP, Family Support Waiver, Medicaid. We can help with resumes, interviews, job searches one-on-one, so they're individualized. We can help with resources to help out, such as diapers, hygiene supplies, community connections, if that's what's needed, and just any way to help strengthen each family with their unique needs. We offer parent connection cafes that are coming up for the first time this month. We have family cooking classes that we're offering this summer, and we also host community baby showers for Boone and Hendricks County.
So there's a lot of things going on with this program. So I'm going to back up a little bit and hit on a couple that you mentioned. So tell me a little bit more about these financial empowerment classes and what they might look like for a family who's participating in those.
Okay, so the financial empowerment classes, we typically partner with regions, and they provide topics for the families, whatever they are looking for. So it could entail budgeting. It could entail ways to cut down costs, especially saving up for the holidays, for example, is one of the really popular ones. We've discussed looking into credit reports. That's one that we get a lot of questions about. So just different ways to empower families financially to help them understand where they're at and where they would like to go. We do something called a financial green print, is something that Regions offers, and we connect them with our local banker, Sophia Strain, and she can take a look at where people are at and listen to where they want to go and then help them build the pathway to get to that. So if any, a lot of questions I get are, I don't know how to get started. That's a great place to get started for families.
So as they're doing these classes, are they one class covers everything, or are they single topics in each meeting?
So these are single topics for each meeting, and they vary. So we are looking to help people wherever they're at. So we do offer them sometimes during the day, sometimes in the evening, different hours to catch different people on different needs. So we actually do try to check in with surveys to see what time people want it and what topics would be helpful to.
And some of these classes are in person and some of them are online, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Some are virtual and some are in person.
So you try to be, with any of the classes, you try to be as flexible as possible with the families, correct?
Correct.
Because we know not everybody's schedule fits in doing classes at certain times.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we want to be as helpful as possible to fit into people's schedules.
Mm-hmm.
We just want to be helpful.
You also talked about career readiness. Tell us a little bit more about what that entails too.
So career readiness, my favorite is one-on-one. I think it's very beneficial for people who are needing help updating their resume, are having trouble finding a position, or even to gain a position where it's something that they're more interested in. So sometimes I work with somebody who might be working just in a position in the community that they're no longer fitting for them. And so I help them look at the resume and how we can make it so that it fits with what they're looking to do, or even the classes that they need to take to um, get them to that where they would like to be. So sometimes that's a nice thing about the one-on-one as well. And help people with interview skills. So looking into when they are going for the interview, what questions might be asked. So looking into what would be beneficial to think about ahead of time. And also helping people look for positions in the community. Sometimes they don't know where to start with that as well, and I'm happy to help with that. We also are starting to offer classes this month from a program that we have that is called Job Ready, Life Ready, and it has different topics as well. So that one will cover, I'm trying to think of some of the topics that just job readiness skills in general. And
And if I remember right, because I've been over the curriculum too, it includes things like interviewing skills and thinking about what you want to do with your career. It talks about teamwork
Yes.
and dealing with conflict in the workplace, helps learners learn a little bit about some of the soft skills of working with other people and just those little things that can make our lives a whole lot easier at work. So it's a really cool program and can really help folks who are exploring think about what they want and need. And you may not, Allison, as you're helping people navigate things, you may not be just helping them yourself. You may also be connecting them with places like Work One and other supports that could be helping those families too, correct?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, part of what if a different connection in the community is what is needed, that's where I'll send them. And the nice thing is, over the years, I've developed connections with different people and different Work One, for example. We're connected with Work One, and we go back and forth, helping people in the community. So,
Very good. Well, tell us a little bit about some of the success you've seen so far with this program.
so we have been very successful giving family hope. So that's one of my favorite things about what I get to do. Whether that's help signing up for SNAP, whether that's help signing up for Medicaid. Um, I love the fact that these things that we help with, somebody with younger with a new family, breaking out of the cycle of poverty, getting their GED and knowing that on the horizon is a new opportunity, that they already had lined up. And again, working with Work One, that really was, uh, that's what I love to see. That's part of the success. So, um, we've had success supporting, a mother through divorce who went from having two incomes to one income and having to provide for everything, including the house. So sometimes people are looking for help, such as WIC, and they are on paper, it'll show up that they make too much money. For example, part of the wonderful thing that I get to do is help people find other avenues to get support and get help by connecting in the community or by helping with resources. Something as simple as passing out, diapers and hygiene kits or the laundry detergent. I don't know how many comments I get that it adds up to that hope, that they feel that somebody is seeing them and they appreciate that somebody's there to help them. So that's some of the success I've seen. The financial programs too, we were able to offer one of those that was a 6-month program. And at the end, or even throughout, they were able to get gift cards for doing things such as setting up a budget or canceling monthly subscriptions. So they were doing things to help set them up for success. And then after doing those things, they would get a gift card. And the nice thing is we saw people paying off debts. And that was one of them, people saving up money. At the end during the survey, there were people who said they had a great chunk saved up for a vehicle now. We had a few people do that. A person who was looking to start her own business, which I thought was amazing. So she was able to start thinking about that. Um, it is so wonderful to see these people be able to make a difference in somebody's life and know that you're part of them getting a vehicle that can get them to work, or you're part of the solution that helps them feel like they have that village around them. And that's the goal of the program as well. We also have had great success with baby showers, the community connections with that, and the mothers who came out to that. We got rave reviews. So we'll be doing that again this year. Yeah, so we've had a lot of success in the different activities that we've been doing.
And I think as you mentioned some of the success from the financial empowerment in particular, it's always striking when you take that step back, even if you're not struggling as a family and take a look at things because you mentioned subscriptions and subscription cancellations. And I know we all see the rocket um, ads on TV now that talk about you could save this much by looking at your subscriptions and how many times we signed up for whether it's a TV subscription or something else or apps or something that has that monthly charge. And those add up so quickly. And many times we see people not realizing how many of those they've actually signed up for.
Yeah, I actually didn't know about some of the subscriptions that you could get. I was really impressed to see how many people could cancel. There really are probably a lot of sneaky subscriptions, and that's a huge monthly. You take that out, think about monthly throughout the year, how much people could save just from canceling a handful of subscriptions. So, yeah, that's a big one.
Well, this year is exciting for us in that we did move from being a capacity building grant recipient with United Way of Central Indiana to a fully funded program this year. And we've made some changes this year to be able to reach a wider range of people. And in part of that, we've added, and actually she just started today, a part-time position who's going to be working with Allison. But we're also making some changes in our program to not only make sure that we are reaching out to families with needs who we've identified, like through our WIC program or who've been referred to us through other ways, but we're also, as Allison will talk a little more about, making sure that we also don't forget our core families that we've started working with as the ARC by making sure that we're also partnering with our families that we support through our more traditional ARC programs too, who may have youth under the age of 24. So tell us a little bit about who does qualify for this program.
So this program, I'll say 2-gen approach, and I'm going to explain that. So the 2-gen approach is it's actually the parent and the child together. So we help families. And like Pam said, it's families with children 18 and under or 24 and under with a disability. And the 2-gen approach, we are just trying to help out. So it's not just the parents, it's also the children. We want to make sure that the whole family is set up for success in the future. So our programs are set up so that parent or caregiver, because I understand that you know every situation is different, and the child participates. So the cooking classes, for example, are going to be really fun this summer, where we'll have the whole family there cooking and talking about budgeting and shopping, different things like that. Part of it is part of the requirement is just a simple intake. Probably doesn't even take 20 minutes. I mean, really, probably 5 to 10 minutes at tops, and I can walk people through that. So part of what I can offer is to help sign up for anything for the program. So along with SNAP and things like that, I can actually help with the intake as well to make that process a lot easier. And then we check in throughout the program as well. So every 6 months, checking in just to make sure that see where things are at, if we can help with, and throughout. So I I'm there throughout the whole entire process, but also coming back to check in.
And people can pick and choose what pieces of the program they participate in as well. So they don't have to do everything, correct?
Correct. Yeah, that's a good point. So part of the intake actually asks um, what people are looking for. What's their goal? How can I help? Almost like Regions Green Print, we're the same way, where we see where you're at and where you want to go and how we can help in the in between. So, not everybody needs SNAP, but we can help with SNAP, for example, or not everybody might want to do the cooking program, but they're more than welcome. The nice thing is once they sign up, they can be involved in like the Parent Connection Cafe, where they can be a part of a group of adults who get to come together and get to talk about. I mean, it's led, but things that they want to discuss throughout. It's a great way. The joke is what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas for the Parent Connection Cafe, so people can talk openly and freely and comfortably. Just as an example. So, yeah, any of the programs, people are welcome to to join or if they want to.
So part of the change in the program with particularly with this Parent Connection Cafe is we're not just providing training and support and helping families figure out what resources they need, but we're also going to be helping them build a network of their own of other families who are dealing with similar issues.
Yes, yes, exactly. If that's what they're looking for. So if they are looking for connections, we're here to help them with that. Anything, health and well-being, yeah, we are happy to help with those kind of things as well. So whatever their success looks like for them, or whatever happiness looks like for them, that's where we want to help them. And we're open to. The nice thing is if somebody would like to see something, we would be open to a parent group of people, or we love doing surveys to see what people are interested in, where we can help. So yeah,
So if people have suggestions, they can reach out to you and during
exactly.
that process.
Yeah, exactly. And during that process, some of the questions on that form are actually asking, here's some of the programs. Are you interested in these programs? Are there any programs that you're not seeing on here that you would be interested in? Or is there anything that we're missing that we could help with?
And Allison, as part of this grant, one of the great things that United Way has done as well is they not only expect us to provide the service, but they also have networking opportunities for us as providers in this space. And I'm jumping off script a lot, but they also have opportunities for us to connect and share information too. So you've been able to gather and obtain a lot of information and feedback from other folks who've been doing this, and some of them who've been doing this for a long time. So they've been able to really help us build our program and come up with additional ideas as we move forward too, haven't they?
Yes, I love joining some of the United Way of Central Indiana groups. The seeing what a lot of the other people, as you've mentioned, have been doing for ages now, I have hopes and dreams of that. I see that, and I see that's where the program could go. They are a community hub, and I would love to see that. Just thinking of future goals, I'm a seedling of ideas kind of person, and when I see what they are doing, I see what could come from that seedling and what could happen. So it is great to connect and be able to go to United Way and hear about, or even virtually, we do virtual programs as well, but to see and hear what people are able to do and accomplish. Yeah, and other partners too. Indiana Diaper Bank does one once a year, and to hear about what they're doing in the community, and it also helps with the connections. It helps open my eyes to what's available. So sometimes if we don't have something in our area, I love to learn if I can connect people with that in a different area, or if not, think of the idea for our area in the future.
Awesome. So, how can people sign up? How do people get involved?
So uh, I can help with that.
Mm.
So people can email me, they can call me. I can meet virtually or in person. I do both. There is a form that there is to fill out just so that way. And I mean, the form is for all of us. So it's for me to get to know the person better, and for me to be able to help the best I can. So it's very helpful part of the form. The other part of the form is we also need that information for United Way of Central Indiana. We as a whole team need to show what we're doing. That's really important for everybody, because those numbers help show where we can support people more, or the support that we're showing that it is needed in our area, things like that. So that's part of the form as well. But again, I can help with that. I can drop my phone number now and my email now, and then I don't know if we can do links or anything like that, but if we can add that as well. So my phone number is 765-482-6815, extension 130, or my email is asmith at arcgbc.org. So it's asmith at the arcgbc.org. So, and again, it's probably easier if you go to the website. You can get some of the info at the bottom and be connected with me as well, or call the front desk here. So the nice thing is, even just getting on Google, it'll connect you to here. And like I said, I can help walk people through it.
And families do know we will be asking for some kind of difficult and personal information. And I shouldn't call it difficult, but we will be asking for income information and things like that. Do know that information is not shared with anybody, but it is a requirement of our funding. And United Way asks us to de identify any of that information. So that information is considered HIPAA protected. And we're not allowed to release like your personal information to anybody. It's really to give us an idea of where people are at and where they've been impacted by the programming. So part of that ongoing requirement of the 6 month is asking, has your income changed? Have other things changed in your circumstances? Again, as Allison said, so we can tell the story and so that United Way can tell the story, because part of that funding through United Way is community support and large business supports of their programs, and their ability to tell that story is what helps make these programs sustainable. So telling those stories is really important, but we're not going to tell your personal story unless you want us to, and you've given specific consent to do that. So do not worry about things being broadcast in any way except a way that you want, or it will just be told as a general story, as Allison has given here, of, hey, this family told us they were able to save up for a car, or they were able to cancel 5 subscriptions this year. Those are the types of things that we will be sharing on a regular basis. So we just want to make it very clear to folks who are listening and considering this program to understand that that information is really only used to help with the funding.
Yeah. Yeah. Everything's kept very, yeah, it's only for, yeah, it's confidential. It's only just so we can, and honestly, from my perspective, a lot of it's just so I can help the best I can. So even the finances, just to see where, looking into those, just for an example, is to see what, if they're eligible for anything else and things like that too. So it is for United Way, but it's also for helping in the future as well. But yeah, completely confidential. Pam, I love that you brought up, I told the stories, but without names. I don't tell names. So even in the stories for United Way, I don't ever tell
Oh,
names.
no,
Yeah,
you don't.
see? Yeah, it's very confidential.
And we talked a little bit about how we'll be able to support families. And again, those supports can be both one-on-one and in group classes. And again, any kind of mix that you desire. So as a family, you can decide, hey, I really only want to meet with Allison and her team by myself, or hey, I'd really love that network of support of meeting with other folks, especially with virtual classes. And again, whether you put your face on the screen, we have internally a health and wellness program where, yeah, you can put your face on the screen if you want to when you're participating in those, or you can just listen in the background and be very quiet. So how much you participate is very much up to you on
Yeah.
this, right?
Yeah. And, a great point to go off of that too, it could be you and your loved one. So I love, being connected with the Arc of Greater Boone County. If you have a loved one, again, 24 or younger with a disability, have them join. If some of the classes speak to you for them, join with them. If there's a financial empowerment class that you are interested for you and your loved one, please, that is where it's at. That's what we want to see. So please join with them, or the cooking class, for example. So
Is there anything else you want listeners to know?
I do. I brought it up earlier. One of the things I want to say is that I like to help create the village. So again, sometimes if I'm not the one who can help, I love that I can connect you with somebody who can. So the nice thing about this program is that you don't just get my help, you get the help of everybody that I've been connected with over the years. And that is a really gaining a big group at this point. So um, yeah, so you don't have to go through things alone. You don't have to struggle through things. The nice thing is, again, SNAP and Medicaid waiver, those are programs those can be very complicated programs to get through. I know, again, it's a learning process. So I'm happy to help with those kind of things so nobody feels alone. Nobody feels like they don't know what to do. I don't know how many times I've worked with people who have said, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to solve this. And the nice thing is I can be there to help be that person who's like, hey, well, we've got this. We'll figure it out. So whatever the solution might be, but at least you have another person there helping you along the way. So
because there have been a lot of changes over the last year in
Absolutely.
Medicaid and SNAP.
And we know that so many times as families, you may go someplace and be told, sorry, we can't help you. And that's all you're told. And we really want, as much as possible, to use the no wrong door approach. So, okay, you may have gone to the WIC office and not qualified for WIC programming, as an example. And I can say that because, there are families that because your income may be just high enough, you may not qualify for that program. But there may be other things that can help you. So part of the design of this program is to create a place where anybody can come in and we can try to help connect you to whatever makes the most sense. And that can also mean helping you with applications or helping you work through the denial process. Oh, and there's no charge to these programs, correct?
Yes,
We didn't
these
say
are
that.
free. Yeah, this is the great thing about partnering with United Way of Central Indiana. These are all free. They are covered. So there is no cost for any of the time.
So, and we want folks to understand and know that. So we're not going to help you do an application and charge you to do that. We want this again to be a support that will help you feel that you're supported and included in the community.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, even the baby shower, 100%. We were just giving things away left and right. The community baby shower, I mean, we really were. I mean, people got diapers, 2 books, a homemade baby blanket, a free sleep sack, a free onesie with the design of their choice on it, uh, Johnson & Johnson shampoo full size,
It was
Desitin
very
full
popular.
size.
It was
Yeah.
very popular.
So that's just a great example of what that this program is doing. We are just doing good things to help people and help build that village in the community. We're just trying to be a bright spot in the community.
And we're not doing this by ourselves either. You've already mentioned several community partners, Regions Banks, the Indiana Diaper Bank, the Hygiene Hub,
Anthem.
Anthem. There are many, many community partners that we work with as part of this program. And there are many other community programs that we help connect families with. So if we're not able to meet that need directly, we may help someone get connected with Aspire or or the Boone Health Department or many of these other programs that are out there that provide that specific need. So Allison carries what used to be called the Boone County Green Book, but it's now, I think it's called the Resource Guide. That's kind of the Bible of helping to connect people with social services organizations. So again, we can help navigate people through that. And without our community partners, obviously, we can't do it all. But that's part of the reason we carry that with us on a regular basis so that if we don't do it or don't know who does it, somebody else in this community does have that connection.
Yeah. Yeah. Figure it out together for sure.
All right. Well, thank you so much for bearing with my jumping around on our script. I tend to do that, especially as questions come up in my head. But is there anything else you want to make sure the listeners know about this program?
I think you covered it. I love that you added that's free. I didn't think about that. It almost probably sounds too good to be true, but it really is a completely free program. There is nothing, and we're so flexible too. Somebody needed to change a meeting just today, and we change it to tomorrow. So we try so hard to make sure that we are doing everything. We want to make it so that it's not a full-time job to get help. We're going to make it so that it's easy on you as best we can too. So.
And if folks are looking for the different programs that we're offering, they can find those on the Facebook page. So there is a Family Opportunity Program Facebook page. I don't know that I've started sharing those on the ARC Facebook page, but we'll also start sharing those there. We will be adding links on our website very soon. But you can also just call our office at 765-482-6815 and ask for Allison, or Allison's at extension 130,
Yep.
making sure I got that right. Or again, you can email at asmith@thearcgbc.org, and our ARC is ARC. So you can reach us there. Or you can also even just go onto our website and hit the info and hit the info connection and contact us through that info at thearcgbc.org as well, and we'll pass you along. So thank you so much for joining us today. And we look forward to seeing you at our next episode of Empowered Voices, Stories from the Arc of Greater Boone County.
Thank you.
Thank you.